It's the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. And Jesus is crucified on the Passover. Right around the time the lambs in the temple were being slaughtered in remembrance of the original Passover in Egypt. So, for Jesus to be the perfect lamb of sacrifice of the Passover, so he could bear the sins of the world, he also had to have none of his bones broken. And this is how it is fulfilled. No coincidences with God. Any questions?
This crossing block, you've got, explain that, there's three bits of it. You've got the one at the top
Three
and the
bits, yeah. So some people suggest this just facilitated crucifying with the feet, right, the nail. They don't necessarily need to have that in place. Some people suggest that they added a crosspiece in the center, sort of maybe the person could kind of sit and sort of half breathe, half not. This wasn't because they were being nice, it would prolong the torture if such a thing were added. We're not sure 100% that there was such a thing. Some people say yes, some people say no. There's a lot of discussion about exactly how crosses looked in crucifixion. I don't want to get into that. It's just a really long discussion and there's a lot of guessing going on.
Where would the nails actually go? Because obviously it wouldn't go into their palm.
I've been asked this and it's been bothering me. I just finished looking up this morning. The Greek says very clearly chair or cheiras, okay? Cheiras is hand, it's not wrist, okay? So, I know the theory that says that if you pierce through the hand, then maybe it slips through the hand because of the weight of the body. But I point out to you that they might have used ropes if that were a problem and still crucified through the hands. Some people suggest it's through the wrist. We don't actually get told when the crucifixion happened. It just says they took them, Jesus and the two robbers, and they crucified them. No details are provided. The Bible is often silent on things we wish it would tell us. However, when Jesus shows up in the upper room and talks to Thomas, he says, this is what I was looking up. Touch my hands and my feet. Put your hand in my side. This is the standard word for hand. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean, it means just this, okay? But it is the standard word for hand. Okay? So, I believe it's the hand. Cool? All right, let's carry on. The rest of the tour is outside on a gravel path. Sorry. Is that okay? You need it again?
Absolutely.
Okay. The rest of the tour is on a gravel path outside. Okay. So I want to move as quickly as we can so we don't waste any time between stations. I have a whole lot to show you in the time remaining, but I don't want any accidents. So please, everybody, watch your step and be very careful. So nobody takes a tumble. Okay? Cool? Let's carry on. Okay. Can you press that one after they're done taking it? Thanks. Please follow me.
He's obviously trying to keep himself entertained. I suppose if you do this day in, day out, you can probably do 400 shots in necessary.
Let's step onto the path. We've got rosemary bushes. Rosemary.
It is, isn't it? Whoops.
Again, lots of nice shade over here, but if you're working on your tan, I understand. Okay, a little bit more quickly, but watch where you're walking, please.
Hello.
Here we are on the farm, It's the picking season, and we're pruning as we're picking. It's also a good time to prune. This is why there's a whole bunch of branches over here. This crown or umbrella shape for the trees is not a natural shape, right? We prune them to make them like this. Olives love maximal sun exposure. Also, less branches means that the olives that are growing next season are going to be bigger, fatter, and more succulent. Okay? Plus, they'll grow more branches anyway. So, most of the olive trees that you see around you were transplanted here from other places. Olive trees are very tough. They almost always survive this process. Also, process, sorry. Americanisms. And they also live a really long time. Our oldest olive tree is over there. It's more than 400 years old. But they can easily grow into the 1,000, 2,000 year range. I want to draw your attention specifically to the shoots growing up from the roots of this tree over here. We have a special word for these in Hebrew. The word is netzer. Can everybody say netzer for me, please? Netzer. Thank you very much. Netzer is where we get the word for Nazareth from. Nazareth. Netzer, Nazareth. So Nazareth means new shoot. And these are the babies of the tree. You want to plant a new olive tree? You cut the netzer off with a piece of the root that it's growing on and transplant it. This is how you get a new olive tree. So, when the prophet Isaiah in chapter 11, verse 1, talks about this precise picture, it's very suggestive of a descendant. He says a new shoot, a new netzer, will grow up from the roots of Jesse. Jesse is the father of King David, who is the forefather of Jesus, according to the genealogies in the New Testament. And so if we accept the New Testament, then this is a prophetic picture fulfilled in Jesus' life. Isaiah lived 600 or 700 years before Jesus is born. I don't think he was that smart. I think God was talking to him. Questions? Fab. Let's carry on. So it's picking season. We just finished picking the olives off of this tree. We used tarps, and now it's sorting time. Hi, Peter. Hello, ladies.
How you doing?
Hey, Asher. Okay. So we're sorting through the olives, taking out the leaves, perhaps, but also, right, we are picking for the best olives for food, and then second best goes for oil. Okay. Incidentally, you can see that we've got green and black or blue. There are no separate green and black olive trees. They're the same trees. Okay? Certainly, there are different species of olive tree, but there's no green versus black olive species trees. Okay? They all start green, and as the sun heats them up, the olives eventually turn blue or black. They're chemically different. And so the preparation of olives for eating for green and black is totally different. And also, depending on when in the process you pick your olives and make the oil from it, then you get a totally different kind of oil. Okay? Not only do we have olive trees, we also have almond trees right here. The rest of these trees here are almonds. Both the olives and the almonds are biblical trees. They appear in the Bible, so this is why we've planted them here. Thank you, Peter. Thanks, folks. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I do.
You do that.